In today's video, we're going to see if I can tie this Piper's Plaid on myself by myself. Let's find out. Stay tuned. Well, hello everybody, I'm Matt Willis Bagpiper, and on this channel I make videos to make you a stronger and more confident piper. If you like this kind of content, please think about liking the video, subscribing to the channel, commenting below with any thoughts you have, and hitting that bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. I also teach Skype and online lessons if you want more personalized instruction, but more on that later. As many of you know, I've been putting my #1 military uniform together for quite some time now, and I'm just about there. So I now have my cross belt, I have my dirk, I have a nice skiing do, I have the spats and hose tops. So I'm mostly there, but it's missing one critical component, and that is the Piper's Plaid. Yes, everyone keeps saying, "Where's your plaid? Why aren't you wearing it?" Well, at first I didn't have the cross belt, and then I got the cross belt, and I didn't know how to do this. It's quite a cumbersome outfit in general. I mean, it looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I don't think you can look much better than this, but it's clearly not designed to be put on by yourself. My problem, I'm not going to be driving in all of this stuff around Texas. That just doesn't make a lot of sense for me. In any case, I'm going to be putting this on at the venue when I arrive. And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to figure out a reliable way of putting on this plaid by myself. For those that want to know, this is Clan Anderson. I picked it for my pipe band because many of the other pipe bands in the area wear green or red, and I wanted something blue that stood out. And I was also a big Jethro Tull fan when I was growing up, and Ian Anderson at one point wore a vest with the Anderson tartan. I was like, that looks cool. So what's going on with the Piper's Plaid? Well, in this case, this one actually dates back to the 70s. I was able to buy this from a gentleman, and I thought it actually was a pretty darn good match with my kilt. Can we see the kilt on here? It might not be exactly perfect, but it's perfect enough for my needs. I don't think anyone's going to point it out to me at an event that the dye lot's slightly different for the blue. So I'm happy to have this. In any case, let's look at its construction. So the pleats are stitched in, at least on this one. I hear that there's some that are not. The last half or so, last third, about the last third, I guess, it's not stitched together. This is going to be what kind of makes the overall cape-like effect over your shoulder when you're wearing it. But you got to put it on first. So what I do know is that we want the back end, this side, with the fringe that's all able to kind of unfurl. We want the edge, not the fringe, but the edge to be at the top of the spat in the back. And so first thing we have to do is kind of wrap it around. So we're going to make sure that this epaulette is out and open. In fact, I'm even just going to tuck it out of the way for a little bit right now. And okay, so that's the front. I'm going to lay it down across. And I'm just going to right now guess how much I might need to have this in the front. I'm only 5'6". Sometimes I see guys that's like way up here. Good for you. You're probably like 6 foot tall. I'm not. So I'm going to put this, I don't know, about the height of the waist belt. Okay, it's on that side of the button. Now I'm going to reach around. I'm going to grab the rest of this. I'm going to pull it around. So can you see what I'm doing there? It's pulled around. And then I'm going back up. So at least this much, whoop, I feel pretty good about. Okay, so make sure I don't have anything folded that's not supposed to be. Now, we want, the belt will ultimately kind of hold it in place, and this will kind of like really give it a nice kind of window. But for now, we need to get it nice and tight. So I'm actually going to grab the back of this here with my hand. I'll grab the front of it here, and I'm actually going to pull it pretty tight. I can feel it snugging around my body as I'm doing that. It's really getting nice and close to the body here. You can do that again, another solid pull. You don't want it loose and floppy. I do know that. Okay, so it's feeling pretty good. Now, the real test. That is too long in the back. So when I pulled it that taut now, it is below the top of the spat. So I'm going to loosen this up here until the back of the Plaid is level with the top of that spat. Okay, and now I'm going to make up for the slack here. So as you can see here, we're pretty close. I think I might need it just a smidge higher. There we go. So that the bottom of the Plaid pretty much level with the top of the spat. From my point of view, it's about as good as I'm going to get. For those that are curious, there's the spat, hose, top combination. I love the black buttons on these. I think it looks great. Okay, and we want to make sure that we're keeping this button open for that epaulet to close. Now, this is not a tutorial per se. If this ends up working for me, that's going to be awesome. I don't know if it is. I'm trying this pretty much for the first time. My wife was around to help me the first time I put this on, and I was very, very glad for the help. But again, I want to figure out if I can actually put this on by myself at a gig. Another good tight pull. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close up the epaulet now. Even this step is hard to do by yourself. I really hope this button is sewn in with some heavy-duty stuff. Okay, so now I got it under the belt here, kind of tucked in, and then slide this up. Now, a trick on this, real quick, I actually, can you see that? There we go. I actually took a little bit of tie-in cable, which is some tarred number 18 twine. I took that and actually wrapped it around the backside of this buckle a few times and tied it in a little knot. You can see it right there. And that really, because this was a little floppy before, but now when I slide it, it really wants to stay wherever I put it, which is nice. It doesn't really, unlike the top belt, it doesn't really want to catch onto the kilt, so it just kind of rests right under it. So there we go. We're starting on the way there. Now we're ready to figure out what to do first with this. The first thing I'm going to try, and we'll see if it works, is I'm going to actually take all of this material here, and I'm going to kind of put it up and over the other shoulder. I'm trying to get it out of the way right now. I don't want to worry about it at the moment. Okay, so we're just kind of getting it out of the way. And then I want to take this part that's here, and I want to kind of flip it back. And now, see this extra bit? Now, in a perfect world, I see a lot of folks like stuffing it back under the rest of the Plaid over here. However, I'm again by myself. I don't have the most flexibility in general in my upper back. And when wearing all of this, it's even less so. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to tuck it into the crossbelt here. I've never worn this until very recently. Again, I think it looks great, but if you know more, great. And if you know a better way to put this on by yourself, that's really cool. I want you to make a video and link it below so I can see how you do it. So I think this is looking pretty good. It's not too high. I don't want the biggest mound of material up and on my shoulder. So now I'm going to take this part and I'm going to put it, well, just kind of back where it was. So there we go. I want to take now like the outer 2 or so pleats and kind of bring them up and around this whole thing. Now, a lot of people take the cap off the wing, if you will. One, Alistair Gillies didn't do it in one of the videos I saw, as he said, you know, you don't see a bird with one wing. So I kind of like how it looks with both. Okay. And now I want to make sure that we're getting this nice and spread and that the pleats are somewhat, see there's a lot more pleats in the back. I'm going to kind of reach up and start moving them over just a little bit. And so with that, I think we're getting pretty close to something that is nearly acceptable. Nah, that fringy stuff is too obvious. Let's undo this part. And let's try this again. So we're going to untuck that. And I'm going to again Nice and tight. Make sure it's not getting loose. Okay, so I have it here. I'm going to fold it straight back. And this time, I'm not going to pull it so much to the middle. I'm actually kind of pulling it right now a little bit around my arm that way. All right, so now it's down straight a little bit more. It's a little looser than I would like, but again, I'm by myself. We'll see how this goes. So again, I'm gonna undo this back around, and I'm gonna take this pleat and kind of go over all of that. Taking like the first two pleats, putting it over the whole thing. Make sure everything else is where it needs to be. And then I'm kind of looking around to see if the pleats are relatively even. All right, so the thing I put over my shoulder, the front part ended up coming undone. And for all you guys that are in the British military and have been doing this for years, you're welcome to have a good laugh at my expense here. I'm gonna, rather than throwing it over my shoulder, I'm gonna actually just kind of wrap it around, keep it in the crook of this arm real quick. See if that goes any better. So, this is gonna go back. And man, if I had somebody else to tuck that in, that'd be great. But alas, I do not. Or I certainly will not when I'm at a gig. Really kind of trying to make a slightly better fold over this time. There we go. That's definitely working better. Wonder if I actually even bring it around. For me, I got a lot of this part in the front because I'm just not very tall. And I didn't get this custom made to me. Maybe these are in different lengths if you're different heights. But for me, it is what it is. This is the height it's at. And oh, look at that. The dirk actually kind of helps hold the edge of the plate over there. That's kind of nice. So I'm going to kind of just for now tuck this into actually my side belt here, at least to get it out of the way. And that all looks much more snug than before. I like that. All right, so with that, there we go. Now, undo this. And the front section here keeps not staying where I want to put it when this comes around. Imagine that. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. All right, so let's see. So that's kind of going up in there and out of the way. You know, I'm almost tempted to just leave this down here, you know, or wrap it around this way. But no, it all goes. This time I'm actually just going to keep holding this back section tight because I can't tie any sort of knot or anything up here. That's just not possible. At least I can't figure out how to do it. So I'm going to try to hold this and then get this over the other shoulder while I'm still holding that section. And see, oh, see, now it's starting to maybe look like something. That might be the trick right there. So by holding that and then bringing this over, there's a few more pleats in the back. I want to kind of start coming around to the front a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now with that in place, I'm actually going to just hold this right now in my armpit. So now we have the brooch. So this is the part nice and destructive. I'm curious to see how many times I'll be able to do this and not destroy the garment because you're stabbing with a big fat needle. So I think I'm going to want to make sure I'm going through kind of all three levels, if you will. So if we kind of come in, there's the initial wrapping. There's the part that is this part right here, the front part coming back around to the back, and then the actual part here. I want to try to make sure that's covered. And I'm kind of liking that these are aligning right there. That looks pretty nice to me. All right, there we go. That took a little longer to get the brooch on than I thought, but it's nice and high, which is how I've always heard it's supposed to be. And there we go. We got something. I don't feel I'm a complete embarrassment to the Scottish cause. I still have this extra bit here, but it seems to just kind of be hanging. Yeah, I think that's looking the business right there. Let's grab the pipes. I don't have the blowpiper channer in at the moment, but so I can see why a lot of old pipes have a little bit of wear around the combing and beating on that, because they kind of rust up in and around that. So if I were playing, yeah, probably be about there. Well, there you go, everybody. Not a tutorial, really. It's not. I understand that. This was an adventure for everyone involved, mainly me, about putting on this fantastic looking bit of uniform here that is just so definitely Scottish and fantastic. And come on, I get to wear a giant blue jewel. Who doesn't want to do that? And all the other accoutrements here, dirk, the scheme do here, the spats, the horsehair sporran. Now all I need is a feather bonnet and a foot-long hackle, and I'll be good to go. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you got something out of this video, please think about giving it a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. I also have a Patreon where as little as $1 a month goes a really long way to helping support the channel. You'll see names scrolling up here of some fine folks that contribute monthly to the cause here, and I really appreciate it. Think about adding your name to this list. Head to patreon.com/MattPiper. I also give Skype and online lessons. Go ahead and head over to www.mattpiper.com or email me at the address you see here, and we'll get you going. I'm working with people from all over the planet, and I hope to work with you soon. I also have a line of bagpipe merchandise, the Command Your Bagpipe line of products. There's t-shirts, hats, mugs, all sorts of stuff. There's a link in the description below. You can see it right there. Go buy some stuff. Tell the world that you command your bagpipe. All right, everybody, I'm Matt Willis Bagpiper, and until next time, cheers.